Trump proposed gutting the ATF's budget by $400 million, already starved as an agency. Thousands of ATF agents away from investigating illegal firearm trafficking, bombing, tax evasion, and tracing guns from violent crimes to their perpetrators to instead do immigration enforcement.
Senator Cory Booker turned this moment into a warning about what happens when gun crime enforcement is weakened, and resources meant to stop illegal firearms are redirected elsewhere. The exchange zeroed in on whether political priorities are undermining the very agency designed to keep dangerous weapons out of the wrong hands.
I'm worried, obviously, about the direction of the ATF. I have been for years since I was a mayor, and we found out that the overwhelming majority of our gun crimes were done with people who acquired guns illegally. If we were just enforcing the laws, we could have driven down violence as much as I advocate for other gun safety laws. The ones we have right now, should the ATF be given the resources and manpower to enforce the law, we could save a lot of lives in our country. And so, unfortunately, that since the president's inauguration a year ago, the ATF has really been under attack, further attacks from the gun industry and high-ranking administration officials. Trump proposed gutting the ATF's budget by $400 million, already starved as an agency. The administration has diverted thousands of ATF agents away from investigating illegal firearm trafficking, bombing, tax evasion, and tracing guns from violent crimes to their perpetrators to instead do immigration enforcement. And this has primarily resulted in the rounding up of nonviolent immigrants and not getting weapons out of the hands of people that are doing horrible things with them. The administration even suggested eliminating the ATF altogether, which is stunning to me to hear this administration wanting to defund the police that do some of the most important work for keeping us safe. And so I have a few questions just about the direction of the agency. And I just want to emphasize, again, my gratitude that you're up for this position, but the importance of you maintaining your independence and not giving the gun industry or others who want to defund you any sway over the decisions you make. And so I just want to say for the record, if you can just state, do you think abolishing or defunding ATF would risk public safety?
Good morning, Senator. Thank you for your comments. I think ATF plays a pivotal role in America's communities on reducing violent crime. And although I can't control the budgets, I think there would be a negative impact on America's communities.
Thank you very much. A simple yes would have sufficed, but I appreciate that. So this legislation is obviously misguided. I hope that you will take steps to ensure that the ATF is fully staffed, fully resourced, able to get its mission to protect the public from violent crime. Since 2007, when I first met with the head of the acting head of the ATF, they just told me the blunt truth about how much more they could do with more officers, and I hope that you'll advocate for that. The diversion of agents to conduct immigration enforcement. We know that Trump authorized ATF agents to conduct arrests of immigrants without permanent legal status. By September, about 80% of the ATF's roughly 2,500 agents had been assigned to the Immigration Task Force at some point. How many ATF agents are currently assigned to the Department of Homeland Security to conduct immigration enforcement?
Sir, ATF has never had more than about 75 to 100 agents on a day working on immigration enforcement in support of ICE and HSI.
So you said about 100 and currently at any time?
No more than 100 at any given time.
Okay. Have the diversions impacted ATF's capacity to enforce our national firearms laws?
Not from our perspective. ATF in those operations has been focused on offenders that were illegally armed with firearms, MS-13, 18th Street, illegal aliens that have. I'm well aware and frankly grateful for the work that you do. It's just hard for me to believe that 100 plus agents taken out of that important work going to arrest people with no criminal records is not taking you away from your work. More agents doing that work, I find, would probably help keep us much safer from the violent crime that is most concerning to the American public. I'd like to enter into the record an article from The Trace, which quotes David Hamilton, a former senior special agent who retired in 2021. He said, and I quote, "It is hugely disruptive
You work on a complex federal investigation for years in the making, which includes covert gun buys and intercepts and wiretaps. Now they're being told you can't work at all on that investigation for an indefinite period of time. Most of those leads are going to die on the vine. That's a former agent that has a lot of experience that counters this testimony that taking that many agents away doesn't undermine your mission. I want to ask one last question. Previous administration,
without objection, the documents made a part of the record.
I'm so grateful for you, sir.
You're welcome. I'm grateful for you. I'd be more grateful if you begin to wrap up, my good friend.
I will wrap up with this last question. You with a gavel is a terrifying thing, so I'm going to remove myself as quickly as possible.
I've got the gavel now.
I just please don't throw it at me, sir. I know your arm's pretty good.
I wouldn't do that.
Okay, the last question, then I'm done. Previous administrations have released data about dealer inspections and trafficking investigations initiated by ATF at regular intervals. None of that data has been released during the past year of this administration.
This exchange centers on a fundamental conflict in how public safety is being prioritized. Senator Booker's questioning is rooted in real-world experience. Illegal guns, not lawful ownership, drive much of the violent crime that devastates communities. Trafficking networks, straw purchasers, and black market pipelines are not stopped by speeches or symbolism. They are stopped through long-term federal investigations, coordinated intelligence, and agents who are trained specifically to dismantle complex criminal operations. What makes this moment significant is the warning about resource shifts. When an agency like the ATF is already stretched thin, even small diversions can have outsized effects. Investigations into gun trafficking are not simple cases that can be paused and restarted without consequences. They rely on continuity, undercover work, informants, wiretaps, and months or years of patient case building. Pulling agents away interrupts that process, weakens cases, and gives criminal organizations more room to operate. Budget proposals carry meaning beyond dollars. They signal what the government considers essential. Proposals to slash funding or even eliminate the ATF communicate uncertainty to agents, prosecutors, and partner agencies. That uncertainty affects morale, long-term planning, and the ability to recruit and retain skilled investigators. Public safety agencies do not function well in an environment where their future is constantly in question. The diversion of ATF agents to immigration enforcement raises another serious issue. Every reassignment represents a trade-off. Even if leadership claims the impact is minimal, experienced former agents have made clear that complex firearms investigations suffer when personnel are pulled away. Cases built over years can stall. Informants lose trust. Intelligence dries up. Criminal networks adapt. The result is not just bureaucratic inconvenience. It is a real-world increase in risk. This exchange also touches on a deeper political reality. The ATF has long faced pressure from powerful interests that oppose aggressive enforcement of gun laws. Limitations on funding, data collection, and operational authority have shaped how the agency functions for decades. What Booker is raising is not a new problem, but a continuation of a long struggle over whether the federal government will fully empower the agency responsible for stopping illegal guns. There is a contradiction that cannot be ignored. Leaders who claim to prioritize public safety cannot credibly weaken the very institution tasked with enforcing gun laws. If violent crime is truly a concern, then dismantling or defunding the agency designed to track, trace, and intercept illegal firearms sends the wrong signal to law enforcement and to the public. Local police departments depend on federal partnerships to dismantle interstate trafficking networks. These are not problems that stop at city or state lines. Without strong federal support, local agencies are left to fight national criminal networks with limited tools. That imbalance benefits traffickers, not communities. Booker's focus on independence is also critical. An enforcement agency must be able to operate based on evidence, not political pressure. When enforcement becomes politicized, confidence in the justice system erodes. Agents and prosecutors need to know that their mission will not shift based on political convenience or outside influence. What this exchange ultimately raises is a simple but serious question. Is the government committed to enforcing the gun laws already on the books? Or is enforcement being quietly weakened through budget cuts, reassignments, and political pressure? Reducing gun violence requires more than rhetoric. It requires sustained investment, institutional stability, and the political will to support the agencies doing the hardest work. Public safety is not protected by weakening enforcement. It is protected by strengthening the systems that disrupt illegal gun markets, hold traffickers accountable, and keep dangerous weapons out of the wrong hands. The consequences of these choices are not abstract. They are measured in investigations completed or abandoned, in criminals stopped or left free, and in communities that either grow safer or more vulnerable.